All right, fellas, we are back, and I think it is appropriate to say that the 2019 fantasy football season is officially underway. The draft's in the books. Jacob, how you feeling about your squad?
I am feeling pretty good about my squad this year. I had some reachers. I reached on a couple guys, but I was pretty confident in those reaches will pay off soon rather than later. Tony Pollard was a big name. I know me and Lubasi were on the mic when we were drafting. He was pretty upset when I nabbed him pretty early, and he has Elliott. So we'll see how that turns out. But other than that, I think my draft was pretty smooth.
You did reach pretty far for old T Pollard. Probably took him about 2 rounds too early, but it could pay off for you if Zeke doesn't play. Yeah, exactly. It's
another reach. Well, I don't think I reached on Eckler, but that was one of my best pickups, I think, out of the draft.
I think you might have reached on him a little bit. You probably should have let the guy that has Melvin Gordon get a little bit more of a chance on him, but it's all good.
You know, I'm not taking any chances. I really don't think Gordon's going to play on the San Diego Chargers this year. I think his best bet is getting traded. So Eckler is going to be a prime position to take that role.
Well, I definitely don't think he's playing week 1 because he doesn't have a projection, and I read his description and it said he wasn't going to play week 1. So he'll be on the bench for at least a week, but if he comes back, getting him in the 4th, 5th round was a steal. So
that would be a steal. The one thing I don't like about my team, I would say, is my tight end position. Trey Burton. You know, I didn't think he was questionable right now, but I see that he might not play this Thursday. So that's a weak spot on my team, but I think that's usually a weak spot. I don't really like drafting tight ends too early.
You got deep sleeper Darren down there on the bench, though. I think he's
deep sleeper.
I think he's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, that's what you should name your teams: Deep Sleeper Darren.
Deep sleeper. Yeah, he was a tight end that I think Matthew Berry really loved when I was doing my research. So I thought he would be a good stasher since we did increase the bench to 2, and then we added that IR spot. The draft was a little long. I did feel the last couple of rounds I was trying to pick through people I didn't even know existed. So that was pretty interesting as well.
Well, you went and added like 100 spots to our bench, so everyone was kind of scrambling, not knowing what to do with those last few picks.
And actually, 2.
You know what? You should actually name your team "Ain't No Pollard Back Girl."
Ain't no Pollard back, girl. You know, I think he is going to be a great addition. But I like my team milk Carrick. I don't think I've changed that too often in this league. I'm all serious. I'm about to get the ring this year, so I'm all business.
Yeah, that name's carried you to the championship so much, hasn't it? All right, let's get on to the next team. Let's look at Team Dom.
Team Dom, a guy in my division who had 3rd pick because he has Kamara, so I'm thinking he had the 3rd pick.
And I had a pretty tough time deciding not to get Kamara and going McCaffrey, 2nd pick over him. So hopefully it pans out for me and you don't have to worry about Kamara too much.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rye, but Mark Andrews was your sleeper tight end, wasn't he?
Mark Andrews was my sleeper tight end. He was going to be my backup, and yeah, Dom snagged him. But you know what? It's all right.
Justin Jackson pick, I like that. Chargers. If it's not Eckler, it's going to be Justin.
Yeah, I don't know about that situation. I wouldn't be mad if Melvin got traded, though.
It's probably your best option. You know, the one thing that's consistent with Dom, he's got a solid team, but that quarterback position, who knows what Wentz is going to do this year if he's going to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's a big question mark.
Kirk Cousins on your bench.
And I'm not a big fan of I could be wrong on it, not a big fan of Devontae Freeman. A lot of injury problems the last couple of years. And Ito Smith ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm on the screen right now, Dom. Roby Anderson's questionable too, so this might be an injury. And Cooper Kupp. He's got some injuries on his team that he's going to have to try to avoid this year that last year they couldn't.
Yeah, that Robbie Anderson might that might be bad if he sits. Speaking of
This
old
is an
Robbie, Lubasi was really upset that Dom snagged Robbie Anderson. Lubasi was trying to get
Yeah,
him too.
Lubasi did want Robbie. I do remember that. A solid team though.
Yeah, I'd
It'll
say
give me a
it's pretty good.
couple fits.
All right,
All
then
right,
we're moving on
let's-
to Team Burnham here.
The the last year's champ. Let's see how he did.
Yeah, that'll be the
His
last
first two picks
championship
were
he'll ever
Hopkins.
win.
Hopkins and Juju was his first two receivers.
Although he did do something that I like to do that I did not get to do this year, which is get that stack on quarterback receiver. He's got the Ben to Juju. That's going to be a pretty solid combo, I think.
That will be very scary. His running backs. I heard a lot of bad things about Leonard Fournette before doing my research.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of Trent Richardson's comparisons, if you guys remember who that was.
Oh, man. But I do like the pick. He's got Devin Singletary on the bench, which I think could
Yep.
be a good candidate for a sleeper running back. Coming out of Buffalo, LaShawn McCoy just left, so he might be able to plug him in instead of Leonard. Put Leonard in the flex. Who knows?
Well, it's still a little crowded, though, in Buffalo with Frank Gore and TJ Eldon.
Well, I think
It might take a
Singletary's
couple of weeks for him to get there, though.
maybe, but I think this is probably the best team we've seen so far. I just really like that stack. That Ben to Juju, I think that's going to be pretty deadly this year, and obviously Hopkins is probably going to have a monster year. Although I have Kiki Cutie, so if Hopkins happened to twist his ankle or something, I wouldn't be crying about it.
Yeah, and I have Will Fuller, too, which I think he's going to be a breakout receiver. I really am high on the Texans this year, especially with the Colts, and everyone knows that situation. That's
A lot
wide
of
open
mouths
for
to
the
feed out
Texans.
there, though, in Houston.
Hopefully Watson can do it. He just got some protection on the left side. I really wanted Watson. I don't know who got him. We'll see here probably shortly, but I just couldn't justify a big 7th, 8th round pick for a quarterback.
Yeah, and I see
whatever,
he
60.
did handcuff old Leonard with Raquel Armstead down there, so I think he may be all right. The Jacksonville backfield, he's got the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see how Nick Foles, see if he can take them to the promised land. All right,
Yeah.
so we got Joey Martin, bear down. Let's check his team out.
I love the team name.
Bear down.
Definitely love that name. As far as this team, not bad. I was really low on Kenyon Drake this year, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But I definitely am not always right, so.
And he got Matt Ryan pretty good position. I think he's going to be a breakout candidate.
It'll be very interesting to
quarterback.
also see how Le'Veon Bell performs in
Yep.
New York. Love the Nick Chubb pick. I think if Le'Veon
Yeah, Nick
Bell
Chubb.
has a good year, that he's got a super solid 1-2 punch at running back here.
Yeah, we don't know how the Rams wide receiver is going to go now with Cup back, but Robert Woods is usually solid.
Yeah, he's pretty
Can't
high
go
up in the
wrong.
rankings. Jared Cook, he was another tight end I wouldn't have been mad having. I think it'll be interesting to see what he does with Drew Brees.
I really like the Cole Beasley pick down in the bottom. I feel like he's going to be a little Julian Edelman for the Buffalo for Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can take that step forward. I was looking at Cole for a little bit.
Yep, I
That's a
like
solid
that.
team.
Larry Fitzgerald, hope he has a cane with him this year on the sidelines, but definitely wasn't high on him this year. I am interested to see what Josh Gordon's going to do. Back with Tom Brady, he had a pretty good year last year till the end. Not super consistent, but he got targets.
Yeah, so far this division is looking pretty tough here.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
making
gonna
me
go
think my
to-
division might not be that tough.
Johnny Peppers.
Johnny Peppers, last year's last place.
A lot of confidence this year.
He grabbed Drew Brees pretty early.
Very early.
Drew Brees is getting pretty old.
And another pick I just did not like was Derrick Henry. I don't think he's going to be that good this year. He had a very good end of the season last year. You can see that 47. I played him in the playoffs with that 47 and 30 pointers. And he destroyed me, but I'm just not high. I don't think he can be consistent enough to do that all year.
No, I was not high on Derrick Henry, and there's been a lot of talk about Todd Gurley's knees this year too.
But that could pay off for him. He got him, I think, 7th or 6th pick.
It could.
That could very well pay off for him.
I do like, even with Andrew Luck gone, I like T.Y. Hilton. I think that he's still going to be okay. I don't know what Jacoby Brissett's going to look like, but...
I heard that he's the best backup quarterback, so he might not be bad.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know who you heard that from, but...
That's what some NFL people have said.
Well, I don't know if I'd be getting fantasy advice from those people, but the best backup? That seems like a little bit of a stretch.
Who do you think it is?
The best backup.
We'll get back to you on that one.
What's the guy's name? Taysom Hill? Is that the Saints backup? Maybe him.
Never. Sean Hill, I think his name is.
Oh. He's not bad.
No.
He's pretty good. Shit, I don't know. I can't even think of that many backups. Maybe it is Jacoby Brissett. I don't even know.
All right. Well, that's what I'm gonna stick to. That Jacoby Brissett, the best backup. Well, he's a starter, so I guess we can't say that. But all right. So let's go to the next team. We got Danny, Sean, Rudy.
Well, we didn't talk about Peppers much, but if I'm gonna put my last statements in here, overall, I think his team's okay, but I think I can beat him.
All right, so we got Rudy next, and he was early on Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you,
he was. He got him.
He was quick to pull that trigger.
Was that second or third round?
I think that was second.
He got him,
but he had back-to-back picks.
37th overall in the 4th round. So actually not
too bad. He has 3 defenses. That's a bold strategy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's doing that just to hoard them from everybody else so no one else can have those defenses, or what the strat play was there. But yeah, I would love to hear from him about why he decided to load up on D. I do like the Joe Mixon pick. I know you're pretty skeptical about that. I think Joe Mixon's going to have a good year if he stays healthy.
And that A.J. Green, he got A.J. Green. So he is out. I think he can put him in the IR spot and pick up another guy. So, Rudy, if you're listening, let's try to see if you could do that. I'm pretty sure if a person is officially out, you can put him in the IR spot. We'll have to see what he says on that one.
Yeah, because he's definitely going to be out for week 1.
I'm curious if you could put Melvin or Ezekiel on it, if they're holding out, or if it's just literally for injuries. That'd be an interesting thing to try for you, Rye.
I think as long as their status is set to out, then, because I think it's the same even for the guys that are just holding out. I think they still have the out red O and the out designation, so I think I should be able to put them in that spot.
The scary thing for Rudy is Mike Evans is questionable, but it seems like he resumed practice, so he should be good to go week 1.
Yeah, I like Rudy's team, but I don't feel like it's super deep. Once you get past those first big names up at the top, it kind of starts to get a little bit questionable down at the end.
Calvin Ridley will be an interesting person to keep an eye on, though.
I just don't see him repeating the year that he had.
No, there's no way. There's gonna have to be some downturn, but he could be okay. If Matt Ryan has a solid year, who knows? Julio usually misses a game or two. Calvin could do all right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then Tevin Coleman in San Francisco. That'll be interesting to see as well. I don't think he's going to get. I think he'll probably be splitting carries with Matt Breida.
Yeah.
But overall, okay team, in my opinion.
I agree. I like that Deebo Samuel pick. That was my sleeper wide receiver that he stole from me.
I think that team has potential, but on paper, pretty average.
All right, let's go with Jimmy Wiegand, the first person on the next division. So to wrap up my division, we got seems like we have some heavy hitters there and a lot of potential. So that's going to be a fun division to go against. So now we're going to go to the next division, which is Rye Division. So we'll start with Jimmy. And talk about
Jimmy,
his
of
team.
course, Aaron Rodgers, this fucking cheesehead.
You should just switch his name to the Green Bay Packers. This is what you should do.
Might as well. Oh, Aaron Rodgers' personal assistant.
But the Devontae Adams pick, I think he had him around where he was supposed to have him, so he didn't reach for Devontae.
No, it
So
looks
he's probably
like he
happy
got
about
him
that.
5th overall, which was, right about where he was at. I think that's a great pick. If I had that spot, I would have taken him too. And he gets the stack. Again, gotta
Aaron
love a good
Rodgers, yep.
stack. That's probably going to be a top 3 stack in the league, along with that Ben and Juju. So I'd say that's pretty solid. Damian Williams, people have been talking him up all off season. Kareem Hunt's gone, so be interesting to see what he does in that backfield.
And he did nab Kareem Hunt, 8-game suspension. He's going to have to be sitting there for 8 games and then play against Nick Chubb. So I don't know how much Kareem Hunt will actually do, but it's a risk-reward type of pick, and we'll see how that pays off.
You know, with as many bench spots as we have now, I guess why not, right?
That's the
Probably
thing.
not
Try to
a
get
bad
those risks.
stash.
I'll be curious on how the waiver wires go, but there's always that one person that's goes off and everybody wants, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, that
But the Sony
nobody
Michel,
pretty good.
I like that pick.
Yeah, I think he's
Another guy who went 2 tight ends. Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz.
Now, I also have 2 tight ends, but I do not have 2 top 3 tight ends, so that
You didn't.
that is an interesting layout there. But that could
That
definitely
might be a trade bait there.
Yeah, that could pay off for him pretty well. I think, Travis Kelce is definitely flex worthy. I think he's just as good as any receiver. So, not a bad strategy there. And some decent pieces on the bench. Not a super deep
Got the
team.
number 1 draft pick, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I was hoping to get him at some point, but I missed out on that.
So solid team. I like Jarvis Landry. We'll see how I have Odell. That's going to be a pretty good duo, I think. Hopefully Odell gets most of the looks, but Jarvis was not a bad pick this year, I think.
Yeah, and so I probably won't be super looking forward to playing this squad because it looks pretty tough.
All right, so we're going to go to Chris Mihal.
The number 1 pick in the draft.
Number 1
Saquon
pick.
Barkley.
Right off the bat, Mitchell Trubisky up top.
I don't mind it. I like that. I like a Mitchell Trubisky up there. It looks good. I think he's going to have a way better year than he did last year, and he's also got Sam Darnold down here on the bench, who I also think is going to improve a lot from last year.
I don't like the Antonio Brown pick.
That's a risky one.
That's a risky one. I do not like it. I was not, even if I had him the 100th pick, I was not going to pick Antonio Brown.
Okay, I probably would have jumped on it if he made it to 100.
All right, top 30, I was not going to touch Antonio Brown. I don't know where he got him.
He got him 24th overall, so end of the 2nd round. It's not terrible.
I just didn't
it's just
like him.
risky. It could honestly, he could be a top 5 player. He could be a top 2 player. But he could also be
No way.
not playing. He could also be. I mean, it's tough, and he's got Derek Carr behind center now, so that's always a
I think if
question
he
mark.
stays healthy, if he's playing, I still don't think he's a top 5 wide receiver.
Really? I mean, he was last
No
year.
With Derek Carr, that offense is not great. I mean, they are going to be passing a lot because the defense isn't even that good, but I don't have stock in Derek Carr.
And I think Josh Jacobs will probably be taking the majority of the touchdowns, but you never know.
One thing I like the D.D. Westbrook pickup. That was a wide receiver.
I was pretty mad when he got him because he got him right before I was about to draft him. Literally the pick right before me. And
I was looking at
yeah,
DD.
I think that's a great pick. I think DD's going to be solid number 1 in Jacksonville. But now that he's on Chris's team, I hope he's not.
Tariq Cohen, I don't know what's going to happen with these Bears running backs.
Yeah,
Adam
that's
Thielen's questionable. Let's see what
a
Adam's
lot
doing
going on in
with
that backfield. Delaney Walker, he used to be a solid tight end. A lot of injury stuff over the last couple years.
So Adam Thielen was
it's tough to
feeling a
trust.
little sore, but it sounds like he'll be okay for week 1. But that's something to look out. Adam Thielen's a top wide receiver.
I do like the Marlon Mack pick. I think with Jacoby Brissett behind center now, Marlon Mack could help or hurt him. I guess if the passing game goes down, it could hurt him if people stack the box. But
We'll see.
I liked that pick at the beginning of the season before Andrew Luck retired, and I don't think it'll go down. I don't think his potential goes down too much.
It's a solid team.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chris
if
has
you're gonna
always got a
have-
pretty solid team.
You're gonna have Barkley. I mean, you can't count him out with the number 1 pick. So we'll see how Barkley does in New York without Odell, and see
Yeah.
how that offense is. But I think he's gonna be a clear cut 15 plus a game.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be pretty good, but I do think teams are going to stack that box because Eli Manning, not great. Not great. Although, another thing he has here is Tyler Boyd with A.J. Green out for who knows how long.
Yep.
It's number 1 receiver in Cincinnati. Be interesting to see how that plays out. So, definitely a tough team. Hopefully, by the time I play him, A.J. Green's back.
All right, so the next team we're gonna talk about is Chewy's team. And when you look at those first 3 names, I really like his team, but his wide receivers are weak.
I definitely do not like the Mike Williams pick. I do like DJ Moore, though. I think DJ Moore is going to have a solid year.
But Watson, I was looking at Watson. I think, like I said earlier in this podcast, Texans are going to have a huge year, and I really wanted Watson, but just couldn't justify that pick. But I like David Johnson this year, and I like Dalvin Cook. If Cook can stay healthy, I think he's a top 10 running back.
Vance McDonald, I think he's going to have a great year in Pittsburgh. He was one of my
I said
tight
this
ends
before.
I was looking at.
The Bears running backs, I don't know, but David Montgomery, if he can fill a huge hole, then that could be a good pick.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Not sure if it'll be worth a 3rd round pick, but
Yeah, it was early.
we'll see how that shakes out with Tariq Cohen. I mean, he's
That top.
predominantly
I don't know. It's not one of my favorites, but those top 3 are my favorite. Probably. I don't know. It's a weird team because those wide receivers are weak in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that Mike Williams pick, but maybe he knows something I don't know. I actually like John Brown down on the bench, though. I think him in Buffalo this year, speedster, might do pretty well.
Boomer bust type player. Sammy Watkins, I just don't like. I never really liked Watkins. Though. He did good last year.
The Bucks running backs wouldn't even get them in the 52nd round. I'd probably draft a 4th string running back before I get anyone on the Bucks backfield.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pass-heavy offense. Their defense sucks. I think the Bucks are gonna pass a lot. I do like the Jamison Crowder wide receiver.
Yeah.
The Jets.
You got
this
your
is an
boy
interesting
T.J.
team.
Hawkinson too.
Yeah, that was another one. I chose my other guy before TJ, but I like the TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. So
It's an
pretty good
interesting
team.
yeah.
I think my team can match up pretty well against that one.
I think if he loses Dalvin Cook or David Johnson, because they both were injured last year, this team is, I don't know, not my
It's
favorite.
volatile.
Not a good. But maybe Cheery knows he usually drafts well. He usually does well. So I mean, I can't.
Yeah,
see
usually
how
his is one of the teams that we're talking about as like one of the best after the draft.
Best,
But
yeah,
this year, I don't know.
tougher one.
Like I said, he might know something we don't know.
All right, so we're gonna go to Team Ryan O'Connor.
What? No, let's. I mean, we can do mine next, I guess.
Yeah, I got you, then James, and Lubasi. So
All right. Well, I didn't have my name's not on the list, but I'll go check out my squad. So, I definitely feel
second
pretty
pick.
good. Had the second pick. I got Christian McCaffrey. It's either him or Kamara, and I think I made the right choice.
I like McCaffrey a little bit more too.
I reached a little bit on Baker Mayfield, but having that second pick, I had so many people between my next pick. I had to take the stab because I really like Baker this year. I think he's got a very high ceiling.
The Keenan Allen pick.
Keenan
I did
Allen,
not like.
this is the second year I've had him. He did pretty well for me last year. He's one of my more consistent guys. Took him a little bit to get going, but towards the middle of the season, he started to really pick it up. And
so after week 9, he had double digits every single game.
Yeah,
so it took him half a year.
If we could get that kind of production from the beginning, we will be good to go. And with Melvin Gordon maybe not playing, might be putting a little more emphasis on that pass game. We'll see.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon's a strange case, as we all know. But if he gets traded, put that in your flex. It's a solid team, I think.
Yeah, I like that Josh Jacobs pick. I'm very interested to see what he does in Oakland. If he booms, then I think I look pretty good here. Pretty happy with my team this year. Took a late round flyer on the Jets D. Probably wouldn't have gotten drafted if I didn't pick him, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a sleeper defense this year.
O.J. Howard's an interesting one, too.
You like that one, don't you?
I don't know if I like it, but we'll see what Bruce Arians says. He's going to have a significant role in Bruce Arians' offense, but I don't know, they still have Cameron Brate.
Yeah, but O.J. Howard,
two
Howard
like
was really getting most of the targets there until he got hurt at the end of the year. So I like him. I don't know. It could pay off, but I got Mr. Jordan Reed, Mr. Reliable down here on the bench, so
yeah, he's been hurt a lot too.
He gets hurt pretty much every time you look at him wrong, but you know
he's
what?
Got his 5th concussion.
Yeah. His brain is definitely jelly by now, but as long as he can still catch a ball and run forward, we're good.
Yeah, this is a solid team.
Yeah, I think this is a good squad. Definitely a couple players where it's like, I don't know, but they got good potential. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm happy overall with my squad here. Not top tier, but I think we'll be good.
Got potential.
Got potential. That's all we need.
Well, potential. The first couple weeks is top tier teams usually get the dub, but then injuries happen and potential comes up. It's
exactly.
It's a weird year.
Yep. So
all right,
we'll see what happens.
All right, next team's gonna be James Arndt, run and gun. He's had that name for ever since he's been in the league, I think.
Yeah, he might change it this year.
James Conner, really like that pick. I think he got him in the first round too, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like he grabbed him 11th overall. Yep, that was his first round pick. Not a bad one. Julio Jones.
I was hoping he would get to me, but he got nabbed up. Julio Jones, question mark. Let's see what his foot. Looks like he's going to be no danger of missing week 1, so it looks like he'll play most likely.
All right, so that's good. Good for James, bad for Johnny.
Tom Brady, what is he, 44 now?
I think he might have just turned 53, but he's getting up there, man. I don't know. That was a risky pick, but I guess we'll see how it plays out. I wouldn't say there's no
risk in that.
I don't know, man. He's
reliable.
He still has Edelman. He's still got Josh Gordon, but I don't know. I think it carries a little more risk this year than other years. But he did just win a Super Bowl, so we'll definitely have to see how that unfolds.
Mark Ingram pick. I know Lubasi was a little frustrated with that one. He wanted Mark, I think.
I think Mark Ingram's slated to have a pretty good year.
Yeah, hopefully that whole offense does, just with Lamar Jackson doing it all.
I like the Brandon Cooks. Rams receivers are always pretty solid. I had Brandon Cooks last year. He did pretty good for me. He's kind of got that boomer bust type style, but he typically keeps it pretty consistent.
Eric Ebron, without Luck, not sure how he'll be, but I know Luck really I feel like he liked Eric last year a lot. I could be wrong, but Andrew Luck usually liked his tight ends.
I think it could be good for him because it might be, maybe he's looking for more of a dump off, but then you also got to think about Jack Doyle being there too, so there's two guys fighting for that.
Miles Sanders, I don't know too much about him. He was in the 50 range. I wasn't really going to touch him just because I didn't know much about him.
Yeah, and they got Jordan Howard back there now too. I'm not sure how they're going to split those carries, but that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on too. I don't know if Miles Sanders starts, but yeah, I mean, they were definitely talking about him in the offseason here, so see how he does.
Yeah, what he says, it isn't quite clear how Coach Doug Pederson will divide backfield snaps, but there's no doubt Sanders is a part of the plan, possibly even the main part. So,
there you go.
59th overall pick by James, 5th round. Be an interesting one to keep an eye on, I think.
Could pay off. Oh, we got on the bench, we got the best receiver in the league, Devontae Parker. Man. Devontae Parker. I don't think I've ever
been in your starting lineup a couple of years or a couple times last year.
That's how you know how bad of the year I was having, because yes, I did start him a couple times last year, and if you see any single digit or zeros next to what he got those games, those were definitely the games that I played him. So yeah, he's probably my favorite player in the NFL.
Solid defense in the Rams. Robbie Gould. He's always a reliable kicker.
I like I
like this team.
The Emmanuel Sanders pick. That he can flip into the flex as well. I like that. Emmanuel Sanders is usually pretty consistent. He's got that deep threat and gets a lot of yards.
Just tore his Achilles though.
Well,
last year at least.
They say he's looking good though.
They do say that. Yeah, I like this team. I think it's
pretty
consistent
team.
Running back.
I'm not convinced on Tom Brady, but I don't know. We'll see. He's definitely got some options on the bench too. I think that's a good thing to have. I like Devin Funchess down here. Chase Edmonds, handcuff David Johnson. Yeah, I think he looks pretty good.
Greg Olsen could be a sleeper tight end too.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be a team to watch out for, I think. And then let's move to my favorite team, the one I've been anticipating looking at all night.
Save the best for last, right, Lubasi?
Lubasi Kikawa, the best drafter in the league. Let's see what we got
So right
here.
off the bat, Elliott was a bold pick.
I was thinking right off the bat, what a shocker. We got Phillip Rivers in the QB slot. Man, who would have thought?
His favorite player.
Dude, his favorite player in the whole freaking world.
Phillip Rivers was having an MVP type year last year. Another year older. I don't dislike that quarterback.
I'm not convinced on that one. But I say that to Lubasi every year when he picks him. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. He's got Jared Goff down here on the bench too, so he's got
Not
options.
a bad backup.
I think Jared Goff's a pretty solid option there off the bench. Yeah, that Zeke pick though. I mean, but I can't talk because I got Melvin Gordon, so I can't fault him too much on that one.
And I got both your guys' handcuffs there.
Yeah. Me and Lubasi are both just hoping we get some pens to paper this week. I think it'll happen.
But Elliott was a second-round pick, and his first-round pick was Tyreek. I don't know. I was afraid to pick Tyreek just because who knows what could happen during the season. We saw it with Kareem Hunt, and I was the one who had Kareem Hunt, so I was honestly not even thinking about picking Tyreek, no matter what pick I had in the first or second round. But that's just my opinion because of how I got screwed last year. But I think that's a bold pick, just from my point of view.
He definitely carries some risk with him. He definitely carries some risk with the whole situation that he was going through. But I think that's all sorted out, settled. So
You'd hope so.
Not the worst pick. But yeah, it's definitely got some risk there. I think as long as he's playing though, it's hard to deny the skill set there. It's like the fastest dude in North America.
Yeah.
So
he was definitely worthy of a first-round pick, but just me, I just wasn't gonna touch him.
yeah, I do like if he can stay healthy here. I like the Darius Geis pick. I was looking at him, hoping that I could snag him. I think he's gonna have a good year if the line can block for him.
Yeah, that running back core, has a lot of potential, but sometimes potential just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
His running backs seem to have a lot. I mean, Breida's good, but coming off of injuries, both his running backs are coming off of injuries from last year. That's always some risk.
Yeah,
You really need Zeke to get in there and start playing football.
Plus, Breida's got the timeshare. If he even is, I don't know. I mean, the majority's probably going to go to Tevin Coleman. I mean, Breida will probably get some
with
carries.
Shanahan's offense.
But then if he doesn't and Zeke doesn't sign, I mean, he's left with Ty Montgomery, who's a backup too. I mean, we don't have a lot of depth here at running back.
Jordan Howard's down there too, but you don't know about him either.
Yeah, sounds like that Miles Sanders guy's leading the pace on that. I do, however, like the Marquez Valdez-Scantling pick.
Great pick. Very good pick.
I think he's going to have a good year. I went ahead and picked up Geronimo Allison just in case. Maybe Aaron Rodgers likes him a little bit more. Plus, what kind of name is Geronimo? Like, how awesome is that?
Stephon Diggs, I had him last year.
George Kittle.
He's solid.
George Kittle,
Both
solid.
of them are solid.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
overall, pretty good team. Definitely some potential here. I think Lubasi did all right. Bench.
I think Lubasi's case, he has too much potential. Hopefully, if it all, does well and everything pans out, he's got a great team. But sometimes you got to, balance that potential to people who are actually going to be really good and or who's going to get the touches.
He's definitely got some people in here that could see less than 10 touches a game, which is
and most of them are running backs.
risky. Yeah, and then obviously the risk with Zeke there. That's gonna be tough. For my sake, I hope a lot of these ifs situations don't pan out for him, because I'll see him twice this year. But yeah. if
You
it
know, that's the
works
thing, though.
out.
When I was looking at schedules, I play you and Lubasi twice, and I am not in your division. So I don't know how the schedule was made or why that kind of got messed up, but that you might not see Lubasi twice.
Oh,
I'll look at your schedule right now and see who you got. So you got me twice, and you got Johnny twice.
so I don't play everyone in my division twice.
No, because you only got Lubasi once. So that's a little weird this year. I don't know how that happened. I just
It
was
might
thinking
be.
of that.
It might be because we have a 12-team league. So when you have a 10-team, that's when you play your division twice. But when you expand,
Yeah, but you
to
would think
12,
that 2 extra games, you'd play somebody in your division.
Yeah.
Or the 2 extra games, yeah, because you're playing 12 people,
Yeah, that is interesting.
playing 11 people, and then 2 extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got me and Johnny twice.
Okay, well, I'm not worried about you or Johnny, so
You better be.
easy money. I got
I
Matt
just-
Burnham week 1. I'm a little concerned about that, but our projections are pretty close. I'm excited for that matchup.
Yeah, I got Chewy first game. So I'm liking my matchup there. I think he's projected to beat me a little bit by a point or two. But I might have to be switching my lineup depending on, what Zeke does or what Melvin does. So, but I do want to just point out we are doing the mini game this week. We have the Bears versus the Green Bay Packers on Thursday night. So if anybody has, we're going to just try to get, when you text me, be sure to text me and do all the games. But let's say me and Chewy don't have anybody from Bears or Packers. You are allowed to switch before the Sunday games, but I still need all the games at least by Wednesday night, and then we can figure out before Sunday games if nobody has Thursdays. But I do want everybody by at least Wednesday night to text me every single game. And if you want to make a switch, like say on a Saturday, and the teams did not play on Thursday, we can do that. So just a little tidbit there.
You saying for the for picking all the matchups for the week?
Right, so for our new mini game that we just did,
Yeah.
week 1 we have, you're picking everybody except yours. And I want everybody to text me. I might figure out a different way to do that because texting, I don't know if there's a different way of maybe like group me, but that's gonna be the same. You still gotta text me, so.
I think there's a way on the website here where you can go and pick your.
Yeah, but I don't think I can see who picked who.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So I think I said this in our earlier podcast. I'll remind you guys maybe the first 2, 3, maybe even first 4 weeks. But after that, I want you guys just to do it. Remember to do it, just so I don't have to keep reminding 2 or 3 people every week. But for the first 4 weeks, you'll have to have time to get used to it. But I think after about 3 or 4 weeks, we can be good. So by Wednesday night, or actually by Thursday before the game, it doesn't have to be Wednesday night. Just Thursday after work. The sooner the better, but let's be sure to get those in to me.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited I can't believe the season's already here. I'm pumped though. Plus I get to see
Thursday
my
night,
Bears.
can't wait.
My Bears destroy the Packers on Thursday night.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Send Jimmy a text when Aaron Rodgers only gets 4 points. The Bears win by 40.
All right, so we went through every team. I think that will wrap this podcast up. You guys, good luck. And let's see how it goes. I'm excited.
Excited too. We'll probably be back after week 1 to see how it went down. So I'm hyped for my team, and Ready for the season. Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
Running for that shit. Matt taking Matt's crown right off his head.